Hi, I'm Andrew Pinard, and I'm a Concord original. I gave my first magic show when I was in the second grade. I was, like most kids in the, boys particularly in the first and second grade, really desperate to be in control and be in charge of something. And yet, I was a fantasist. I liked to read. I spent a lot of time in my library, and there I found a book on magic. And I gave my first magic show in the second grade to an assembly of students at the Derry Village School in Derry, New Hampshire. And that moment really followed me for a long time. When I left college, I taught high school theater. I was the director of a community center in Pittsfield, New Hampshire, and I was managing a typesetting company. And all of a sudden, I kind of got reinterested in magic. I studied magic rather intensively, pretty much 7 days a week. And after about 2 years, I had to quit everything else that I was doing and perform magic full time. And I've been doing that ever since 1991. Magic is an interesting art form when you compare it to all the other performing arts. If you're a musician, you spend thousands of hours learning how to play a piece. Dance is the same way. You have to learn the steps independently and then start stringing them together. Magic is different in a lot of ways. The other performing arts are about telling a story, where magic is really more about creating one. Magic is also unlike the other performing arts in that without an audience, there is no art. A piano player can play by themselves in a room alone, and they're practicing their art. But magic, while it borrows heavily from all of the other performing arts, is unique in the fact that it requires the audience. It needs someone to experience what you've done. Otherwise, it's just me moving things around because I know what's going to happen. The biggest challenge is, just like an actor, is transcending technique. If people are looking at your hands to figure out what you're doing, you lose the emotional content. You lose the connection of being in the moment with an audience. The best way for me to experience magic is through the eyes of someone else who has been whisked away by a moment of astonishment and wonder so profound that it literally makes them forget the world around them. So it's very gratifying. When it comes to inspiration, you know, my biggest inspiration is talking to people and spending time getting to know what they think and what they feel and what they're interested in. Because human beings are all very similar. As much as we like to think we're all different, we all go through similar processes of development. We all explore the world from a very young age. We become a scientist as a kid and put things in our mouth. And it's this development of a logic system and patterns that magicians use to help you see something that can't exist. And so I look at how human beings think. And I like to, instead of performing magic at them, I perform magic with them. And I acknowledge the fact that the strongest magic comes from within our own hearts and our own minds, and it's how we see the world. And so my approach in the last decade or so that I've been performing is really about trying to shape or reframe all of my magic in a way that celebrates what we can do and what we can accomplish as human beings. And it takes it away from performing the impossible and helping audience to see what might be possible. Now, I want to actually share a piece of magic with you that, while it's not real magic, it looks like it. So enjoy. I'd like to show you something strange with a dollar bill. When I was a little kid, the first trick that I learned but didn't perform came off the back of a cereal box, and it used a dollar bill. I went to my dad and asked to borrow the dollar bill, and I took the dollar bill. If you watch George Washington, when I fold it in half, and I fold it in half, and I fold it in half, when I unfold the bill, something strange happens. George Washington turns upside down. All right, it wasn't that good a trick. I was a kid after all. But it was later that my Pepe, my grandfather on my father's side, told me an interesting fact about dollar bills. That dollar bills, in order to stay strong, they actually have silk fibers woven into them. And silk is a conductor of electricity. He used to tell me that if you rub this on a cloth or on a jacket, you could actually build up a static electric charge in the bill, which is very true. And in fact, sometimes you could actually get the bill. Let's see if I can get this to happen. You got to get it rubbed really good like that. If you get it like that, you can sometimes get the bill to actually stay stuck. to your fingertip. The really cool part though is if you build up that charge and you get it in just the right place, you can actually have it stay right where it is just a second until it goes away. And that is how it's done.